Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being committed to completion of the Completion Summit. As one of our speakers said this morning, it's very important to finish things, and we're very, very pleased that a number of you have stayed to the end. At this time, what I want to do is introduce the new executive director of MACC. He's really not that new. He's been with us for a few months now. He's doing a terrific job. Prior to accepting our invitation to be our executive director, he was serving a term as interim superintendent of schools when Nancy Grasnick stepped down. He has also served as a superintendent of a school district in Maryland and has a great deal of experience and has gotten off to a terrific start. So please welcome Bernie Sadusky to the podium.
Thank you very much, Greg. Empty stage, quite a difference from this morning, kind of all by yourself, but and I've met a number of the folks as I've visited the different colleges, and if I haven't been to your college yet, you're probably one of two colleges left. But it's great to be here, and I hope that you found, as I have found this today, to be very beneficial, not only in my learning progress, but as we meet the challenges for our students and for our state in Maryland. And what I'd like to do at this time is recognize the teams from the various colleges. I know some people have had to leave, and I understand that, and I know transportation accommodations had to be made. But if folks are still here from Allegheny, please stand and be recognized. The team from Allegheny, great, all right. Anne Arundel, folks, I know. I won't take that back, but I am up to your college on Monday, so. Anne Arundel Community College. Anne Arundel? Great. Folks from Baltimore City? Yeah. Carroll Community College? All right. Cecil College. My friends in Cecil. Chesapeake College. College of Southern Maryland. Still got some folks, great. Community College of Baltimore County. Oh my God. Frederick. Oh my goodness, yeah, great company. Garrett. Hagerstown. Well, I know. Yes, your president's still here, so that's good. Hartford. Howard. Montgomery. Yeah. Prince George's. And Warwick. All right, great. And the folks from Warwick said, you have to cross the bridge today too, Bernie, so let's make sure we cut this a little bit short here. Anyway, let me just tell you what we're dealing with, and then I want to kind of sum it up, but I've mentioned this on a number of occasions. We actually, in the state of Maryland, had 500,000 students on campus last year. That's extraordinary. 150,000 of those students were earning a degree-seeking students. It's a 24% increase in student population, and this year we're absolutely flat across the board. So times have changed, and one of the reasons for that is the cohorts coming from the K-12 sector will be down for the next couple of years. However, given the challenges that we have, we also think that you'll have a flock of more adult learners coming to community colleges. 90% of our students stay in Maryland, folks. This is an absolute treasure to the local community in the state of Maryland, and I think that says well of the experiences that we provide in community colleges. We represent 50% of the undergraduate population of all the colleges, university systems, independents in the state of Maryland. All right, the average age of a community college student is 26, and for knowledge, we have an increasing diversity of students coming to our college, and as you know, that by the year 2014, the K-12 population in the state of Maryland will be a minority majority. Now, if we disaggregate that, we have so many different sectors of that minority population, which represents increasing diversity on all of your campuses. So, you accepted the challenge, and you exceeded the challenge, and everybody said it's great, that the goal was 20% for degree seeking and also certificates. The increase was 33% and 38%. But the whole issue is it's only a point on the spectrum that continues and must go up. One of the things that we know is that if we bask in our successes, it's the first sign of decay. One of the things that we know is that the world changes, and if you listen to Jack Welch, and says that if we don't internally change and the world changes, then we're not going to make it. So one of the things in my observation as executive director is that we've continued to change in this state, and we've continued to adapt, and we continue to meet the challenge of what is happening in the state of Maryland. So here is the challenge, ladies and gentlemen, so that you know it's not going to get easier. The economic viability of this state depends on you. President Obama has said that nationally. Now's the time for community colleges. Well, thank you very much. It's about time somebody recognized that. The second thing we know is the governor says that our economic viability in this state is dependent on community colleges. Lieutenant Governor has reiterated that on a number of occasions. But here's why. We have 37,000 unfilled jobs in the state of Maryland right now. The number is projected to grow to 75,000. Now, how can that be with an unemployment rate in this country of 8% in some sectors, state of Maryland lower, but 6 and 7%? So why do we have unfilled jobs, and what's it going to take? It's going to take you. It's going to take the community colleges, because the researcher at the George Washington University says that if you graduate with a high school diploma, and that is your terminal degree, you will be suited for 3 categories of jobs. 1, you can work in the food service industry. Nice way to say McDonald's has a lot of jobs. Second one is if you have a dynamic personality, you could probably be a good salesperson for someone. And the third one is laborer. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a reason we have 37,000 unfilled jobs. And if you look at our state at Aberdeen, and go on the Route 40 corridor, or go to southern Maryland to Patuxent, or go to Anne Arundel County around Fort Meade, or go to Frederick County around Fort Detrick, you can see that the spin-off businesses, the technical jobs are there. And they're begging for students to fill those jobs in the state of Maryland. Businesses coming to this state say, but can you, community colleges, educate our workforce? And we say we absolutely can. But here's the sad part of it. Maryland is the 5th most educated state in the union for the adult population. But within 5th most educated, 29% of our adult population have a high school diploma or less as their terminal educational degree. We cannot, as a state, continue to have the economic prosperity, the quality of life that we enjoy in this state, with 30% of our population not being eligible for the jobs of the future in the state. So the challenge is out there. So what do we do? I mean, well, number one, we've got to reduce that number. And adults they're astute. Wait a minute, my child is not going to be eligible to work in the state, to enjoy the economic life that I did? Unacceptable. So for families who didn't have college, post-secondary experience on their radar, it will be. For those folks who really didn't pay attention to, I just want to get out of school to that next level, it will be. And guess what? We've got the arms are open. We are the open door policy for an increasing number of students who now need and have to have that experience. Increasing diversity. Increasing number of students whose folks don't know how to access the educational system. Those are our challenges. One of the things that we know is that we have an increase in the diversity of learners, and everyone thinks about, oh, I get that. We have an increasing Hispanic population. We also have an increasing diversity of learners in how they learn. Because the acquisition of knowledge for the future generation is not the same as it was for you and I. One of my roles last year, I got to visit a lot of schools, and I visited a first grade classroom. And in that first grade classroom, there were 18 students learning how to read, 4 of which were in direct contact with the teacher. The other 12 were on a first grade laptop making words on the smartboard. I had 4 other students on PCs on a program, typing it in, making words. And then I had another 3 students over here with handheld devices. And they were all acquiring knowledge. They were all learning. So the diversity, when we talk about diversity, we not only talk about diversity of student, what they look like, how they learn. It's a tremendous challenge for us moving forward because our students are digital learners. You know that. But as we redefine how we deliver education, it becomes a greater challenge. Developmental education. Everyone says we got to do something about this. We got to go to the source. We got to look to our K-12 partners and say, you got to help us. We need to get these students out. We need to work closely in developing transitional courses for these students to come to the community college and start to take those credit-bearing or certificate-bearing courses as quickly as possible. The fiscal environment doesn't look good for the next several years. Local aid doesn't look good, which means tuitions go up. We can't. So how do you make that challenge? You have made that work. You have made this a success story. We're calling on you to do the same thing now. We haven't even talked about how we're going to tap the energies of online learning. And my goodness, this whole issue of MOOCs and how that's going to play in it and what challenges that will bring to the presidents and to you as the folks, mind-boggling. But here's what I do know. We, by far, have many, many strengths. And the strength that we have lies with always being focused on the mission of our colleges, the ability to adapt, which you have continued to demonstrate, the diversity and the creativeness and genius of our folks to meet the challenges of the workforce, to have strong leadership, bold leadership to make sure it happens. And lastly, and I'll let you go home after this, the most important resource that any organization have are not our computers, are our people. And to continue to invest in you in days like the summit, the professional development, so we can take those genius and creative and best practices and share them, all for the good of all of our students and obviously for the economic viability and the strengths of the state that we all appreciate and love so much. Have a great holiday, folks.